Not tonight for your Philadelphia Phillies. They go down 7-2 to the Atlanta Braves, 79-56 on the season, on pace for 95 wins. They have lost the season series against Atlanta. 7-4 it stands right now with 2 games remaining. Ricky Pitalico, Ruben Amaro Jr. on Michael Barkan with Mike Schmidt still to come. And when you look at this game and you look at the standings now, and we've been talking about the division, but it turns out, as we know, the top 2 teams in the National League get byes the first round of the playoffs. The Phillies are now tied with the Milwaukee Brewers, with the Dodgers a game and a half ahead. So they got a little bit more work to do, the Phillies. Ricky Bo, thoughts on tonight?
Thoughts on tonight. Tonight was ugly. It was one of those games where, you know what, you almost felt like after Ranger gave up those back-to-backs, this was not going to be like last night. You almost had that feeling over at the ballpark that, okay, we're going to take this one on the chin, and we're going to have to come back tomorrow, and the momentum's going to have to swing again. That's the one thing about this whole season. I mean, the Phillies had that big high at the beginning of the season. Then there's been peaks, valleys. And I know that's how a season goes, but I still get annoyed. And I'm annoyed that they lose to the Braves because I flat out just don't like them.
Yeah.
And that bothers me a little bit.
And I'm annoyed you're annoyed. Ruben, what do you got?
I think anytime you get an opportunity to try to do some damage against a guy like Orlando Lopez, who has been outstanding all year long, and especially against the Phillies, and you don't take advantage of him in the early part of the game and you let him settle in, then you put yourself in a really tough spot. They could not get anything going early. They had opportunities, couldn't come up with the big base hit. It would have had to be like a 2-out hit, but they just could not come up with the hit to try to get on top. And then it was up to Suárez to kind of shut him down, and he just kind of ran into, it was almost like a wall. And that concerns me a little bit because he was lights out in the first couple of innings, and then he sort of ran into a wall there in the third and fourth.
All right, let's go across the street, check in with the great Hall of Famer, the greatest third baseman ever to lace him up. There he is in the booth, Michael Jack Schmidt.
Yeah.
What's up, Mike? How are you
annoyed.
tonight?
I'm annoyed just like
I'm annoyed
Ricky.
that you're annoyed too. Son of a gun. Let's quit with the annoy. No, let's talk to me about this game and Ronaldo Lopez, who the Phillies have had issues with each time they faced him.
You know, I remember back when I played, there were several pitchers around the league we just couldn't figure out. And by the way, Ronaldo Lopez now has the lowest ERA in Major League Baseball for any pitcher with 100 innings pitched. How about that?
Wow.
So it's not just the Phillies. But, the game comes down to Ranger giving up 4 home runs, and the bullpen gave up 3 runs, and that's 7. And between Lopez and the Atlanta bullpen, that's pretty much the entire game. We can't forget Arcia, who hit 2 home runs after I mentioned that he steps in the bucket. Kind of fanged that whole thing. Yeah, that was a game. It was a dud, one of those offensive nights for the Phillies. Much happened. Like you say, really looked strong the first couple innings, but then, geez, you don't know whether to give credit to the opposing team for figuring him out or whether there is something there physically.
All right, Michael Jack, always great to talk to you. And, Usher is performing in the building tonight. I know he's a favorite of yours. And he is
Usher, yeah.
Yeah,
Usher.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have him on my my 8-track in the car or anything like that. But
he's on my 8-track.
Still have an 8-track.
He's also on my CD and my reel-to-reel and my 78.
But he's a hell of an entertainer. I know that.
Sure is, and he's performing in honor of the Phillies' loss tonight. My boo. Anyway.
Hey, where's that Cigarettes After Sex band playing?
I don't know, but we'll get that to you after the show.
That's late night.
All right, yeah. Are we on the air? Okay. All right, buddy.
No, I'm cleaning up the booth here,
All right, we'll be over. We'll help you out. Ricky especially.
All right.
Thanks,
I'll
Michael
talk
Jack.
to you guys.
The great
I won't
Mike.
see you for a couple of weeks, so be safe.
Okay, you too. We'll be in touch.
All right.
Thanks so much, Mike.
You
Let's
got
take
it.
a look at our eye on the mound. And this guy is a problem. Ronaldo Lopez. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run. So that makes 2 earned runs he's allowed in 3 starts against the Phillies.
Guys on base, he bears down. Ricky mentioned it before. his numbers with runners on in scoring position are just ridiculous.
I hate to tell you, but this guy's got a 2 ERA for the season.
Yeah.
Well over 100 innings.
Yeah.
It's not like
He came in at
it's not like a
2.02.
flash in the pan. He came out of nowhere. You knew what this guy was bringing to the table. I'll tell you one guy who never wants to see him again is Kyle Schwarber because this guy absolutely owns Kyle Schwarber. Makes him look like a little leaguer at times. And that's hard to do with Schwarbs. But he's got I told you, he's got those 2 breaking balls, and he disguises them very well. They're very deceptive. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, that thing already that disappears on you. It looks like a strike, disappears on you. You're too late. You're already committed.
0 for 4 for Kyle Schwarber. Trey Turner another 0 for. He's 0 for 4. Bryce Harper with 3 hits. Don't give it away because I'm going to watch as soon as the clock hits 0. By the way, 1 week from tonight, Eagles open it up against Green Bay in Brasilia. All right, let's hear from Rob Thomson on what befell his team tonight.
Everything okay with Ranger health-wise?
Yeah. So the plan tonight was to repeat what he did last time as far as pitch count. So I think it was 72 last time, 78 today, something like that, right? So now we can build them. So now we can go to 90, 95 pitches.
What was the thought point? Why go back-to-back with the same work?
Just because he didn't have a rehab start.
He struck out the first 5 guys,
Yeah.
and they started to tag him. What do you say?
Well, in the 3rd inning there, they put 26 pitches on him, and I think it kind of took its toll on him. And the 2 home runs were just mislocations, just balls that leaked back out over the plate, and they put good swings on him. So I think that's the 26 pitches probably affected his 4th inning.
Was Bohm available tonight? I mean, obviously
He was not.
He was not. Okay. Any progress there today?
I haven't had a report yet, but the trainers told me during the game that he was going to be down.
It seemed like Ranger.
No, and we'll check him out tomorrow.
It seemed like he maybe didn't have command of his secondary stuff tonight. Change up.
Yeah, and especially as the pitch count got deeper. Threw a lot of change-ups tonight. I'm not sure how many curveballs he threw, but it just seemed like he didn't throw many curveballs tonight. So, but the first 2 innings were fantastic. I mean, he was commanding the ball and really good stuff.
What is it about Lopez? He's kind of handled you guys pretty easily 3 times this season now.
He got good stuff, but I was telling KG that I thought our at-bats tonight were, we faced them 3 times. Our at-bats tonight were better than the other 2 games, and a lot less chase. I thought we put good at-bats on him, got his pitch count up, and got him out after 6.
Things kind of coming together for Stott at the plate right now.
Yeah, he's starting to use the field, low to left, high to right, and he's having good at-bats. Nice to see JT at the ballpark. Harp had a really good night tonight. So, move on to the more.
Before that 3-homer game, had that big grand slam. Outside of that, especially against righties, just hasn't been a lot of slug.
Yeah.
What do you notice about his at-bats in the last few weeks?
I think there's a little bit of over-swinging, and maybe get back to shorten up his stroke a little bit and making contact, because there is a lot of swing and miss right now.
You guys have struck out 10-plus times in 6 of the last 11 games. What are you seeing that might be the leading to some of that?
Well, there were a few games in there, especially in the Atlanta series, that, and I don't know whether that counts. You're going back to there was a lot of chase there. And since then, we've cut down on our chase, but we've seen some really good pitching.
Topper, the bottom line is 10 strikeouts per game over the.
It's too many. You got to put the ball in play. You put the ball in play, anything could happen. I mean, there are some positives. He talked about some positives too. So let's not just stick on the negatives. Yeah, I said that. Anyways, you look at Bryce Harper tonight. He's swinging the bat a little bit better. I mean, we heard before the game per Todd Zalecki that he had a little bit of a elbow issue, a little bit of a hand issue. So hopefully he kind of continues to get better. And 3 hits a game will make you feel better every single morning. So you like the way he's swinging the bat. Bryson Stott swinging the bat a little bit better here as of late also. So, there's a lot of bad that happens when you strike out, but the Phillies have a couple things going well also.
Do you agree for future? Because they could meet up after after this series in the postseason. Do you agree that they had better at-bats against Lopez?
They had a
As
little bit
Papa
better,
was saying?
at bats, but they could not get the big base hit when they needed to. And Lopez has been phenomenal at shutting things down with runners in scoring position. The two players right now who have been struggling at the top of the lineup, both Schwarber and Turner, I think they're 1 for 15 in the first 2 games of this series, and those guys really need to sort of catalyze this ball club a little bit better. A lot of swings and misses, not as many for Turner, but certainly Schwarber has been struggling to make consistent contact. And again, you heard Rob Thomson talk about it, shortening up a little bit. Maybe he's overswinging, whatever the case may be. But he can be streaky at times when it comes to contact, and I think it just takes one base hit up the middle or base hit to the left side of the field, and then that'll open things up for him. But there are certainly guys who I think are so important to the lineup. Those guys really need to produce, because if they don't, then you're putting a lot of heat on the back end of that lineup, and against a team like the Braves who have really, really good starting pitching, it makes it really tough.
Here's Bryce Harper, clubhouse, post-game.
I think only your second game with 2 extra base hits since the break. Did you like the results tonight of the swings that got you to those results?
Yeah, I felt good. Jumped on him early in the zone. Obviously, he got me in the third at bat, and then had a really good at bat, I thought, against Jimenez, who's one of the best in the game right now. So felt good. Just try to monopoly that to tomorrow.
How is your body feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel fine. Feel good. It's August, obviously, so I think everybody's grinding a little bit. But it's part of the game.
You guys have seen Lopez a couple times now, and might see him again in the postseason potentially. Just what has he done to kind of keep you guys off balance as an offense?
Just got to lay off the slider, lay off that big curveball. I think if we do that, we'll take him to our advantage, and he's been really good all year. I think he's done that to everybody, so we just got to try to nitpick the best we can when we're up there looking for our pitch to hit, get the one in the zone as much as possible, and try to lay off a curveball or that slider that he throws out of the zone. Obviously that's tough, but as an offense as a whole, we just we got to be better at that.
When you say Rob thought you guys, this is maybe your best at bats against him this season. You think of the 3? I think it's been 3 times. These are your best as a group. In other words, you feel like you're making some progress off that?
I mean, he still beat us, right? I mean, I think anytime a guy's able to come in and beat us, I think we punched out a little too much tonight against him. Obviously, like I said, when you chase that curveball or that slider out of the zone, it kind of sets up everything else for him. So we got to do a better job of getting him in the zone. Obviously, I don't think a lot of us have seen him that much. I know we've seen him for 3 games, but when you're seeing a new guy like that, it's a little tough. But we just got to try to simplify the best we can and try to get him later in the year.
2 more games against these guys this weekend. No head-to-head matchups in September. You want to win every game, but just how big are these final 2 finishing strong?
Yeah, they're huge. I mean, it's a really good team over there. They're playing good baseball right now, and they're in our ballpark, and we got a good chance to go and beat them the next 2. And they got Freed and I can't think of I can't say his name. Schwellenbach. The 2 guys have been throwing the ball well, so. We got our work cut out. Obviously we got Wills and Knowles going as well, so that's huge for us. Just got to keep playing our game, understanding, September's a long month. We just got to take it one game at a time. Hopefully win these next 2 and go into Toronto with a good mindset.
Yeah, if you've been grinding through some things, why are you confident that come October you'll be feeling the way you want to feel?
I just have to. That's it. I think. That's just, like I said, it's part of the game. It's part of the process of going through a season. So just got to stay the course. I understand that I rely heavy on my body, things I do as well. So just got to go.
Do they seem like nagging injuries, or is it something that you're concerned about, bothered by?
No, not concerned.
For the Phillies upcoming, 2 more left with the Braves tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And then at Toronto, Zach Wheeler, Max Fried. Hello, Max.
Hello, Max.
I'm hoping.
Hello, Zax.
What do you think? Hello, Zax.
I went the other way with you. Let's go, Wheels.
One game at a time.
Let's go, Wheels.
That's it. One game at a time.
time.
We're still in first place. We'd like to tell you that we're going to be here tomorrow and Sunday and Monday, but we'll see you Tuesday. Have a great weekend.